Welcome to channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on a little bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the insights. Now today is obviously last week has the border of Australia has opened up for all the international students. However, there hasn't been much of the good news apart from having more and more COVID cases bumped up from every single cities in Australia, notwithstanding the Perth, Western Australia, which the state has officially locked the border towards all the other states. Anyway, today's video we are gonna be talking about how a visa refusal will actually affect you. I've done some research. Obviously, I've been practicing in the this industry of Australian visa industry for many years, and I encountered a lot of visa refusals, either from other agents or some from myself, the mistakes, and I learned from the mistake as well. So I want to talk about this. I mean, there has been so many websites promoting, and also some YouTube promoting, saying that, well, yes, what do you do with visa refusal? Fine, no problem, we can fix it, we will help you, we'll fix it. Well, it may sound like very good, but it's more of a marketing sales jargon there. Obviously, having a visa refused or cancelled is actually no good. It's not really okay to have a visa being refused or rejected, because you will have a history there, and the reason of the rejection or refusal or cancellation would definitely 100% affect your future visa. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the visa refusal, visa cancellation, visa rejection, how that will affect you. And I wanted to let everybody know, all the viewer know, I know a lot of people want to save money, they didn't buy, so they find a cheap agent and somehow resulted with the visa refusal, visa rejections, and it's actually going to be costing you much more to fix the problem. So might as well get it done prior. So let's jump in there and have a look at some of the samples that I can show everybody. So obviously nowadays immigration's website has done a very good job, although it does not give you any advice or consultation, but it does provide enough information. Now I wanted to take you to the part of eligibility here, and every single visa page on immigration's website nowadays will actually show you this, and also look at this one. See education provider responsibility and how we manage the education programs. Oh, okay, interesting. Anyway, let's go down here. At the very end, it actually says not have had a visa cancelled or a previous application refused. Now, obviously, the statement is there for reasons. Now, it says you might not be granted this visa if you had a visa cancelled or refused while you were in Australia. Well, what about if you are not in Australia? Will still affect you. Let's jump in and have a look at other ones. This is 485 visa. This is a temporary graduate. So once you graduated from Australia, you can also apply for this graduate work, or perhaps the post-study work PSW visa. Anyway, all of them will have the same thing. Let's go to the eligibility and move to the very end. It says the same thing. Not have had a visa cancelled or previous application refused. You might not be eligible for visa for this visa if you had any of this history. That's trying to say. So when we click on this link, now bear in mind this statement I'm only showing you two subclasses. It is in every single application page in the immigration website from the Home Department of Home Affairs. So once we click on that link, where does it get us to? It gets to here. Very interestingly, it says the topic here is entering Australia. So obviously, it will affect you from entering into Australia. So the content here says, check if visa cancel or refusal affects you. Now, it doesn't say how that will affect you, and it doesn't say how you could actually check it. I mean, how do we check it? It says you might not be eligible to apply for some Australian visa if your visa was refused or cancelled, but you might be eligible for some other visas to be granted, blah, blah, blah. But, well, how do we check that? Now, this is the problem here. Now, obviously, in today's world, the IT system, although it has embedded some AI mechanism there for immigration system, but it's not smart enough to actually click on there and they will tell you, well, Mr. Smith, unfortunately you had this visa canceled or refused back in 2012 under the reason of this, so you cannot apply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kind of visa. No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Now, at this point in time, all you can do is contact a visa specialist, a professional, to actually show what had happened to you, because there will be a lot of different ranges of reasons being refused, and whether or not that's going to affect this particular visa for future applications. So there is a lot of different way to apply, in either waive the reason, or in other to answer how your visa was rejected previously. Now, I want to give you a scenario here. I often compare that lodging a visa is like going to a doctor to see a doctor, okay? Just like you're getting sick. Now, obviously, getting sick, there is a range of illness. It can be just cold, right? Coughing, and you might not even require to go to a doctor. You might just jump into a supermarket or pharmacy and just buy a pack of the cold Panadol, whatever it is, and then you get yourself fixed within 2 or 3 days. However, there's also illness can be like cancer, tumor or cancer. Now, you do not go to a supermarket or chemist to buy a pill and for intent to cure your tumor or cancer, right? However, the problem is here. Traditionally, a lot of applicants would not know how ill, how sick your visa application or your circumstances is, obviously, because you are not an expert in the visa law. So taking things lightly and did it by yourself, I'm not saying DIY is no good, but you have to understand a lot of things and you have to know a lot of law. Otherwise, in breaching one or breaching some conditions might cost a lot. Some of the people come to me and I'll basically tell them, look, this is almost like, cancer and cannot be fixed. You basically, there's no hope on this one. And then they'll left my office with tears. But I don't want to see that happening. But see, things you don't do it DIY yourself if you have a cancer or tumor and do a surgery by yourself, correct? You want to go to a specialist. You want to go to the best hospital and find the best surgeon for the particular symptom that you have, correct? Now, dealing with the visa is the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. I've seen too many people DIY and then have the issue, got rejected, got refused, and came to me, or perhaps they have, asked all around and went around a lot of other visa specialists, but cannot help. Now, okay, let's jump in back to the actual website. There's also another thing here is some people want to be smart, and they wanted to perhaps not telling some of their background, or perhaps produce fraud or fake information. Now, this is straight away what I'll call, if we can compare to the health condition, I'll say this is a tumor, stage 3 tumor, stage 4 cancer. Okay, if you do that, you're doomed. Okay, so providing accurate information, that is very important. So we might refuse you for failing to satisfy public interest criteria PIC 4020. That basically meant you shall not provide bogus document. That means fake stuff. I've seen some people produce fake IELTS result, produce fake graduation certificates, or produce fake work references. That is no good. Or perhaps you get some background. For example, you have some sort of offense, convicted, not really serious, but you decide not to disclose it. Then that will also be a problem, because that will also meant misled the case officer, the immigration officer as well, by not telling things. So I've actually been in one of the case. Very interestingly, this lady wanted to apply for student visa, and the visa went delayed for so long. We don't know why, and she kept on pushing it. And at the end, we received the information. The correspondent from immigration said, "Look, can you answer this? In certain year, month, and date, you've tried to apply for protection visa. Now, why did you not disclose this to us in your student visa application?" So we went back to the applicant and said, "Oh, well, what happened? Why did you do that for?" Oh, she said, "Well, I was just, clicking around. I haven't really applied it, but I've inserted some information." Now, bear in mind, not applying that visa doesn't mean immigration has not received anything, because if you save the application, actually the government will actually have that data as well. So again, that's a misled, because in the student visa application, she did not disclose she had that background previously, and then she received so-called PIC 4020 rejections. Now that's very bad, because in the future it's going to affect you a lot. So there is a non-grant period for breaching PIC 4020, period of 10 years. Look at how serious is this. I mean, how do you waive this? It's very hard. It's gonna be very hard. You might not be grant you a visa which a period of 3 years if you're a member of family unit. Okay, so again, this is very serious. So I'm saying, look, doing DIY, trying to be smart is fine. But you don't try to be smart if you have a cancer or tumor and trying to do a surgery yourself, correct? Now, committed to visa is the same thing as well, and the immigration will always give you a chance to comment. Obviously, then it's gonna be very hard. That's what I'm trying to say, and they will affect your future skill migration, business, temporary, student, family. That's like everything. So that affects a lot. And there's also re-entry ban if things do happen. So what does this read? It says a re-entry ban, also known as exclusion period. So breaching PIC 4020 have exclusion period of from 3 to 10 years. Depends on your situation. You may not be able to return to Australia for up to 3 years. A re-entry ban may be imposed on a person breaching visa condition, and that's overstaying. So if you have overstay unlawful, some people obviously during this pandemic there's a lot of people unintended. That's fine, you can explain that. But if you have provide false and misled info, health conditions, offense to law against the law of Commonwealth or law of other states in Australia, and breaching visa condition, fail to maintain appropriate enrollment of the student, and fail not to be in Australia as a genuine visitor, the re-entry ban is there. So again, in this video, I'm basically giving you a scenario, treating a visa like treating your illness. If it's just gonna be a cold, a very easy stuff, no problem. You can go DIY yourself, go to a chemist, just buy a pack of Panadol, done. Okay, but if the situation is worse, now a lot of people don't know how worse their situation is. That is the problem. But often I see people in a situation it's like tumor or cancer stage 4, and they still trying to DIY themselves. I mean, that's crazy. You won't do that with your body, right? You won't take you won't take surgery DIY with a knife and cutting yourself apart, right? You won't do that. So same thing. In visa, it's the same. Okay? Anyway, should you have more question or query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below. And I see you next video. Goodbye.